Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving straight into one of the most profound mysteries in the history of human philosophy. We're talking about the incredible evolution of Buddhist thought. A lot of people assume religious concepts are just static, completely set in stone. But today, we're unpacking the crucial evidence that shows how this philosophy massively grew and adapted. We are looking at what scholars consider the ultimate missing link, Suttanta Piṭaka, Volume 25.
Okay, let's dive into this. If we look back, there's a huge contrast. On one side, you have the traditional Theravāda ideal, which is laser-focused on escaping personal suffering. The goal is liberating yourself. But then, on the flip side, you have the Mahāyāna ideal. This is a universe-spanning goal of saving all living beings, a philosophy of universal compassion. So the big question scholars have wrestled with is, how do these two totally different goals connect? How do you build a bridge from personal enlightenment to boundless universal compassion?
Well, the answer lies in Suttanta Piṭaka, Volume 25. Academic scholars praise this specific text as the ultimate missing link. And the genius of it is that it seamlessly connects these two massive philosophies without abandoning the core Theravāda law of karma. It essentially acts like a conceptual glue, bringing in the grand Bodhisattva ideals of Mahāyāna without destroying the original foundation. It's a total philosophical upgrade.
Here is our spiritual map for today. We'll start with the mystery of this missing link, then explore three ancient texts: the dimensions of karma in the Apadāna, the cosmic scale of the Buddhavaṃsa, and the Bodhisattva manual in the Cariyāpiṭaka. Finally, we'll see how this active philosophy shapes our modern lives. Section 1. The mystery of the Buddhist missing link. This transition we're talking about wasn't just some minor tweak in the rules. We are looking at a massive historical restructuring of human thought. Going from channeling all your energy into your own escape from suffering to suddenly taking on the spiritual responsibility for every living thing, that is huge. Scholars regard this as one of the most powerful, pivotal turning points in Eastern spiritual evolution. Moving to Section 2, the Apadāna, which deals with dimensions of karma and hope.
Now, what's really interesting here is the story of Venerable Bodhisattva. In his past life, he wasn't some wealthy king or powerful elite. He was just a forest porter. All he did was sweep a path and help build a pavilion for a Buddha. But the Apadāna tells us that these tiny, everyday good deeds, when done with absolute faith, create massive cosmic rewards. It brilliantly democratizes enlightenment, proving that your social status literally doesn't matter in the spiritual realm. Let me ask you something. Do you think past trauma, or maybe a really dark, violent history, can permanently prevent someone from reaching ultimate enlightenment? Imagine ancient Indian society for a second. The idea of letting someone with a violent past into a sacred spiritual space was almost unthinkable. But the Apadāna completely shattered that norm. It records the story of a nun named Venerable Bada Kundalekasa, a woman who lived through unimaginable tragedy and violence. Yet the text confirms she reached the absolute highest spiritual truth. This was a profound sociological breakthrough. It boldly stated that women had equal access to enlightenment and that past trauma is absolutely no barrier to human potential.
Section 3 takes us cosmic, the Buddhavaṃsa, or the universe of Buddhas.
So, the number 28. That is the number of past Buddhas introduced in this text. This number completely blows up the old paradigm of a single savior. We are zooming out from individual human stories to a multi-universal system. It expands the cosmos into something unimaginably vast. And within this vast universe, we get the epic origin story of the Bodhisattva ideal. Imagine this intense micronarrative. Sumedha the ascetic actually laid his own body down in the mud, literally becoming a human bridge so Dipankara Buddha could cross. That act of ultimate sacrifice is what earned him the prophecy to eventually become Gautama Buddha. It's just an incredibly powerful image of devotion.
So the crucial point is, becoming a guaranteed bodhisattva isn't exactly a walk in the park. There are 8 incredibly strict conditions you have to meet. Scholars point out that these intense requirements created a highly specialized value system. It made the bodhisattva a uniquely protected, almost cosmic figure, actively governed by the laws of karma. On top of that, this text gave birth to a prophecy that changed history, the prophecy of Maitreya, the future Buddha. This is a real game changer because it created a shared center of hope. From China and Japan all the way down through Southeast Asia, it connected beautifully diverse cultures with this one unifying vision of a perfect future.
Moving to Section 4, the Cariyāpiṭaka. This is essentially the Bodhisattva manual.
At the heart of this manual is the number 30. We're talking about the 30 perfections, or parami. This text strips away all the folklore and gives you a highly practical, step-by-step guidebook for achieving cosmic status. It's the ultimate action plan for spiritual perfection. Let's move to paramita and see how this builds. The practice is divided into 3 escalating levels. You start with basic paramita, the foundational level. Then you graduate to upaparamita, which requires intermediate, often physical sacrifices. And finally, paramatha paramita, the absolute ultimate sacrifice, where you're willing to give up your own life for the goal. It's a systematic escalation of spiritual endurance. To show you just how extreme this gets, look at the Mahalomahāmsa Karya. This is the absolute peak of equanimity. The being in this state remains completely and perfectly peaceful, entirely unaffected, whether they are receiving the highest worldly praise or enduring the most brutal physical torture. It's the literal definition of being untouched by the world.
Finally, Section 5, paramita in our modern daily lives. And this brilliantly illustrates how the concept of parami evolved. Research by Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Surendrathorn points out a major shift. In the old days, parami meant a distant, ultimate endpoint, like nirvana. But thanks to this missing link, it transformed into a highly practical daily method. It became the everyday process of accumulating good. This is super empowering for everyday people. You don't have to retreat to a cave to build paramini. Working hard at your daily job, raising your family with love, giving a little to charity, or just gritting your teeth and showing patience during a life crisis. These highly relatable modern actions are exactly how you accumulate paramini right now. The cultural footprint of this ancient text is still massive and completely visible across Southeast Asia today. You see it in the beautiful Vesantara Jataka mural paintings in local temples. You see it woven into the 10 royal virtues, setting the moral standards for leaders. The principles of patience, mercy, and truth we expect from people in power all stem directly from this philosophy.
So, to wrap up our explainer today, Suttanta Piṭaka Volume 25 is far more than just dry history. It acted as the perfect missing link, allowing traditional Buddhism to keep its core identity while throwing the doors wide open to massive social compassion. It is quite literally a timeless spiritual map for human evolution, still guiding us today. Which brings us to one final, provocative question I want to leave you with. Armed with this 2,000-year-old spiritual map, how will you consciously accumulate your own paramis today? Thanks for joining us for this explainer. See you next time.